Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to lecture number 30 for the subject of software design and architecture, iTech 4129. I am your course instructor Fahad Anwar. So students, before I start my today's lecture discussion, I would like to give you a little bit recap about our last lecture. So students, if you remember what we discussed in our last lecture we see the key concepts of software product line, where we see architecture, production line, and the scoping definition of any business case. And then we see the product line development, three different constituencies, development stages or phases, where we see a core asset management, development, product development, and the management. We discuss these three different stages, phases or constituencies of product line development. And then we see things which make software product line work. And we also see different product line examples, how the world famous companies sharing their most of the components from their product lines as well, so that they are scaling up their economies and efficiencies by integrating their existing components rather than creating from scratch. And I also provide you a few success stories, who the word organizations or the word top companies who are actually utilizing the software product line, and their names are written in the hall of fame. And I also provide you a link so that you can go through by self, and you can read the different success stories who actually utilizes different software product lines. And then we discuss a family of systems, where we see a product line architecture and what is the different software artifacts which are actually generated during the development. And we also discuss how capturing a product line architecture, where we see how common core are actually shared between two different products. Product A and product B have some common core features which actually showing the working of product line architecture. And at the end we see architecture for product line, where we see a product line architect needs to consider what important things. We discuss three different things like identifying variation points, spotting variation points, and the evaluation of the architecture. And these are the little bit students discussion about our last lecture. So students, let's formally start our today's lecture discussion. So students, these are the objectives of our today's lecture discussion. So in students, in this lecture we will discuss about the architecture for product lines. We will also see the important topic, software product line approaches, which is a very important topic. What are the different approaches utilized by the industry to adopt the software product line. And then we see some of the benefits and challenges of software product as line as well. And at the end of this lecture we will conclude about the software product line, which is actually a reusability approach. And now student, this is our last lecture about the topic of software product line approach, which is basically a reusability approach. So in this lecture number 30, our software product line topic will be ended. So let's start the lecture discussion. So here is the architecture for product line, which actually a product line architect actually need to consider three things. The first one is identifying the variation points. So what we also discussed these points a little bit in our last lecture, but not in more detail. So students, identifying the variation points means like variation should be discovered during the requirement process, which can be features like user interfaces, qualities, and target markets, etc. And the other variation points could be discovered during the architecture design. So we can say that the variation point can be discovered during 2 points, the requirement process and the architecture design process. And the second point is spotting the variation point. So whatever the variation points you have identified, now you should provide know there are some spotting for these variation points as well, like inclusion of elements, like we can say inclusion of different number of replicated elements, etc. And after the selection of versions of elements that have the same interface but different behavioral or quality attribute characteristics as well. So these are the spotting variation points. And the last point is evaluating the architecture of product line. So students, in this we evaluate our architecture for its robustness and generality as well. So evaluation process, students should be focused on like what to evaluate, how to evaluate, when to evaluate type of questions. So these are the different three things which a product line architect should be consider. So students, let's discuss the different approaches of software product line. So students, basically there are three approaches of software product line. The number one is proactive approach, the number second is reactive, and the third one is extractive product line approach. Student, this proactive product line approach is basically, you can say that this proactive product line approach is basically, students, this proactive approach is basically software product line like waterfall approach to conventional software. So you should analyze, architect, design, and implement all product variations on the foreseeable horizon upfront as well. So you can also say that, students, this approach is mostly suitable for the organizations which can predict their product line requirements well into the future, and that have the time and resources for a long waterfall development cycle. We will also discuss this proactive, all of these three approaches with example, with diagram as well, so that you can get better idea. So in this slide we will also, I am giving you just a little bit notion behind these different three approaches. And the second approach is the reactive approach. This reactive approach, students, is like a spiral or extreme programming approach to conventional, like you should analyze, architect, design, and implement one or several product variations on each development instead of one product. So student, this approach works in the situations where you cannot predict the requirement or for product variations well in advance. It is normally utilized in the scenario where the requirements are not very tight and the requirements are constantly being changed. And the third approach is the extractive product line. So this approach is extractive product line is actually mostly utilized or effective for those type of organizations which actually wants to quickly transition from conventional to software product line engineering. These kind of organizations utilizes the extractive product line approach. So student, these are the three different approaches of software product line. Now let's discuss these three different approaches with diagrams so that you can get better idea about these three different approaches. So student, these first one is proactive product line approach. So students, as you can see that this proactive approach to software product line is like the waterfall approach to conventional software. Like in the most left side you can see that you analyze, architect, design, and implement all product variations on the foreseeable horizon upfront, and it works like a waterfall model. We can't move to the next phase until the current phase is complete, and or we can't move from one phase to another phase without completing the one phase as well. So from these waterfall model, we actually implement all product variations on the foreseeable horizon upfront, from where we get we develop different assets, and now from these assets or the core assets. So these are the basically core assets. So what are the core assets? We constantly have been discussing about the core assets in lecture number 28, and then we see core assets in the development of product line in the lecture number 29, and now in the lecture number 30 you should get clear idea about the assets. And now from this waterfall based approach to conventional software, we get the all product variations on the foreseeable horizon upfront, and from where we can get the assets, and we ultimately develop a different products. So this type of proactive approach is normally utilized by or suit those kind of organizations, students, that can predict their product line requirement well into the future, and that have the time and resources for a long waterfall development cycle as well. And the next approach is reactive product line approach, which is the second approach for software product line. So student, in this reactive approach, students, as you can see in the most left side of this diagram, the reactive approach is like the spiral or extreme programming approach to conventional. Like if you as you already have been discussed different software engineering process models in your third semester or in somewhere else in your IT degree, because I am assume here that you are well aware about these models. As we see, a spiral model is actually work in the spirals. So you analyze, architect, design and implement one or more several product variations on each development of the spiral. And you also aware about the spiral model is actually concern about the risk analysis and the prototyping approach as well. And this from these spirals, several product variations on each development spiral is actually attained. And students, from these spirals, after getting the different variations on each development spiral, we form our assets. And for now, from these core assets, we develop our products as well. So this type of approach works in situations where you cannot predict the requirements for product variations well in advance. So as you are well aware about the spiral model, so we normally utilize the spiral model where requirements are not very clear and customer is not very clear about what he actually wants. So we utilize the prototypes so that the customer can get better idea how the system will actually look like, with the help of some prototyping approach, like throwaway prototype, like evolutionary prototype. So these are the different terms utilized in the this spiral model as well. So this reactive approach of product line actually normally suit in the situations where we cannot predict the requirement for product variations well in advance as well. So the third one approach of product line is extractive product line approach. So first you should understand the diagram as well. So in this we actually we have some existing software products from where we extract different assets. So what are the assets? Assets can be components, services, tools, structure, architecture, appropriate application areas, different component services, tools, interactive development environments, different framework. These are the different assets for any organizations. These type of assets are actually extract from different existing software products. After extracting the assets, we actually develop a product line. The actual product line is developed, like number one product line is developed, up to three or more product lines are actually developed. And now from these product lines we develop different baselines. For each product line we develop a baseline, and now from these three different baselines we actually form a product with the combination of different baselines. And now this is the working of actual approach of extractive product line approach, where our final product is actually is a combination of different baselines. And each baseline is based on their appropriate or respective product line. And these product line 1, product line 2 and product line 3 is actually we form from the extracted assets, and we extract these assets from the already existing software products. So this type of extractive approach, students, the this extractive approach reuses one or more existing software products for the product line initial baseline as well. So this require lightweight software product line technology and techniques that can reuse existing software without much re-engineering. So students, effective this type of extractive approach is mostly effective for an organization that wants to quickly transition from conventional to software product line engineering. So you should note one point over here is that this approach does not support the possibility of one organization developing the core assets and a separate organization developing the product based on the core assets. So this is an important point about this extractive approach. So students, we also have some benefits of software product line. So let's discuss these benefits of software product line one by one. So students, there are many benefits to establishing a product line. So product line actually leads to reduced cost and faster time to market for new projects. Product line approach to software development will lead to a more portable staff, because architecture is similar from project to project. So finally risks are also reduced and quality is improved because the architecture has been proven on multiple projects already. So these are the different benefits of product line approach as well, like the reduced cost, like how the cost is actually reduced, like adopting a product line approach to develop and maintain applications can dramatically reduce cost through the specialization of roles and reuse of core assets that otherwise would have needed to be developed or acquired and maintained separately for each application. So ultimately our cost will be reduced. And the next point is, due to the reusability approach, improve time to market, and our product is come to market more earlier, because we are utilizing the RID built-in architecture. Like for many organizations, cost is not primary driver for product line adoption. So reusable components speed the time it takes to get a product out the door. So product line actually allows the organizations to take advantage of the shared feature of their product line and to add feature like particular to the products they are actually building. So ultimately, the our product time to market is very improved. And the next one is flexible staffing and the productivity. So student, there is much more flexibility when moving people around the organization, since they become familiar with the set of shared tools, components, and process of each product line. So a critical product development effort can benefit from using people from other development team who are familiar with the product line's core assets, etc. So the learning curve is shortened because the shared asset of the product line are familiar to staff who work on the products in the product line as well. So the next one is increased predictability as well. So this is a pretty straightforward. The quality is also higher because because core assets serve the needs of more than one project, so they must be higher quality. So also multiple projects exercise the shared assets in more way than a single project would. So the shared asset will have a much higher quality. In addition, the shared architecture of the product line is also proven through implementation by several projects. So ultimately our quality will be higher, and related business benefits as well. And the core asset is also one of the major benefit of product line development as well. So what is the core asset? I also have been discussed many times. So core assets are the basis for the creation of products in the software product line. They actually include the architecture that produce in the product line, like will share, as well as components that are developed for systematic reuse across the product line or across multiple product line. So core assets are so students, core assets are the key components of a software product line. Core assets can include the infrastructure, tools, hardware, and other assets that actually enable the development, execution, and maintenance of the system in the product line. So each core asset also has an attached process that actually describe how to use the asset to create a product as well. So core assets also have been discussed many times in our previous lecture as well. So where we have students some benefit, there are some disadvantages as well. So these are the different disadvantages are also listed here. Like upfront cost for preparing reusable parts is also required some cost as well. So it is also a pretty hectic work to decide like which product you can produce early on. Like thinking about multiple products at the same time or simultaneously is also not an easy work. So managing, testing, analyzing multiple products is also a hectic and challenging work. So obviously where we have some advantages of software product line, so there are some also some challenging challenges or disadvantages of software product line are also exist. So students, still here our software product line topic is comes to an end. So what we can conclude about our talk of this topic about software product line. So students, this software product line architecture, we can say that rather than single product architecture, it supports systematic reuse, and this represent recurrent requirement architecture suitable for solving typical problems in a domain as well. So this approach actually allows engineers to come up with the right solution quickly and effectively as well. So product line actually provides a way of formalizing the manner in which the applications are managed in an organized way or in an organization as well. So our ultimate goal of product line architecture is to develop a time to market product, the quality product, and the more productive product. So students, these are the different main goals of this product line approach as well. So this software product line approach, students, basically is a reusability approach. So the product line approach is also evolve as time passes. The product line must evolve. So there are different sources that can evolve over product line. There can be external sources which actually created through different elements, and there can be internal sources which can be new functions as well. So students, uh, like this product line approaches have very positive impact on the industry, because it provides a productivity for different organizations as well. So I conclude my talk over here is that every organization of any size has developed applications that have some characteristics in common, like informal means. Many of these applications share common components, infrastructure or process. So this product line actually provides a way of formalizing the manner in which these applications are managed in an organization. So goal of product line oriented organization is to maximize the benefits that come from managing groups of applications together. So reuse in a product line is a byproduct of the structure of any organization. So reducing development, quality assurance and maintenance costs, and getting products to market faster are the real benefits of software product line. So student, till here in our software product line, which is a approach of software reusability, comes to an end. So students, till here our lecture number 30 is ended.